It's the evening of December 6th, 1999, at Theodore Francis Green State Airport at Providence, Rhode Island. At this airport, there are 3 runways, 5 right, 5 left, and 16. But 5 right is the only active runway at the moment. Runways 5 left and 16 are used as taxiways during low visibility and night operations. The ATC control tower is here, near taxiway Kilo. Although the tower is close to runway 5 right, the fog is so thick that the ATC isn't able to visually see the aircraft movements. In 1999, this airport was not equipped with a ground radar system either. So, the ATC had to rely on the pilots to call out where they were on the runways and on the taxiways. If the pilots made a mistake, the ATC would have no clue that something was wrong. United 1448 is continuing its approach towards the airport. The pilots can see another plane, a FedEx cargo carrier, waiting at the runway threshold. FedEx 1662 is headed to Memphis, Tennessee. It is holding short of runway 5 right at Sierra, waiting for the United plane to land before it can take off. The United plane touches down and rolls down the runway and turns off on taxiway November at the other end. The FedEx continues to hold as the ATC calls out to the United.
United 1448, what's your position?
And we're clear of the runway on November by Bravo, United 1448.
The ATC then provides taxi instructions to the crew.
United 1448, thank you. Taxi to ramp, via taxiways November and Tango, report crossing runway 16.
This is the route that they have been instructed to take. This route will cross runway 16. Keep this in mind, it's going to become important.
Okay, November, Tango will report crossing 16 on the 1448.
At the other end of runway 5 right, US Air 29908, headed to Baltimore, pulls up behind the waiting FedEx plane and contacts the ATC.
Cloudy up here, 2998 and hold short behind FedEx.
Yes, sir, 2998, thank you.
They are now number 2 in the queue for departure. Both planes continue to hold because a 4th plane, US Airways 1020, is now on final approach. All 4 planes that are going to play a part in this incident are now under the same ATC's control. After receiving taxi clearance, United 1448 begins taxiing down taxiway November. Recall that this is the route the crew was instructed to take. It is extremely foggy and the workload is very high for the pilots. And in the heavy fog, they get disoriented and mistakenly take a left here onto the Bravo taxiway. They think that they are continuing on November. They are now headed towards a runway that they had just landed on. The same runway that US Air 1020 is on the final approach to land. Recall that the ATC has already instructed the pilots to cross runway 16 to go to the ramp. So United doesn't need to stop at the whole short marking. But what they think is runway 16 is actually runway 5 right. If they enter 5 right without stopping, they'll end up on the runway when US 1020 lands. A minute later, US Airways 1020 lands on runway 5 right and calls up the ATC.
Yes, sir, 1020, turn left taxiway November or Alpha and report clear of the runway.
Due to the fog being heavy, United was taxiing slowly and has hence not approached the runway threshold just yet. They are safe for now.
Roger, looks like we've got November here for you at 1020.
Yes, sir, 1020, thank you. Taxi to ramp, via taxiways November and Tango, report crossing runway 16.
November Tango to the ramp, report crossing 16, and we are clear as the due time. US Air 1020.
Yes, sir, 1020, thank you.
US Air 1020 has now vacated the runway. They have been given exactly the same taxi instructions that was given to United 1448. From the controller's perspective, US 1020 will be following United 1448 to the gate. At this time, there are no other aircrafts on final approach. The FedEx plane, that's first in line to depart, is instructed to line up on the runway 5 right, and it is cleared for takeoff.
FedEx 1662, runway 5 right, fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff, fly right, FedEx 1662.
The pilots of United 1448, which is on taxiway Bravo, can now see runway lights in front of them. They think they are seeing 16, but in reality, right ahead of them is active runway 5 right. The same runway that FedEx 1662 has just been given the clearance to take off from. A confused United 1448 pilot calls up the ATC because they are expecting to see taxiway Tango on the other side of the runway. But they don't see any signs or directions indicating that.
Now, 1448 is on November by the runway here. We don't see the, we see a crop straight ahead on November.
The ATC, who also thinks that they are on November, tells them that it is okay to cross the intersection and to proceed to the other side.
At 1448 from approximately 16, join taxiway November Tango on the other side.
Nobody is currently aware of the incorrect turn that the plane has made.
For Tango on the other side, United 1448.
She has instructed United 1448 to cross the runway. The wrong runway. An active runway. From the ATC's perspective, US Air 1020 is following 1448. So, she calls out to US Air 1020 to watch out for them because the plane ahead of them has just stopped at the intersection.
User 1020, exercise caution, 757 ahead, just coming up on runway 16 at November taxi ramp.
Okay, we're looking for the other airplane.
But this confuses US Air 1020 as he doesn't see any airplane in front of him. And this makes him think that he has made a mistake and he is on the wrong taxiway. And that's the reason why he can't see the other plane.
What's happening November at Bravo? Did you want us to taxi Alpha to the ramp?
User 1020, negative. That was just if you missed November on the rollout.
Thank you. November Tango, US Air at 1020.
Now let's get back to United 1448. Since the ATC has instructed them to cross the runway, they start moving forward and they cross the runway hold line. They have now entered the active runway. At the 5 right end of the same runway and at the same time, FedEx 1662 is fully configured for takeoff. They are ready to depart. Having completed the departure checklist, the captain pushes the power lever to the max to begin their takeoff roll. The engines spool up. The plane starts accelerating down the runway. In the dense fog, the visibility is extremely poor and the FedEx crew can't see much in front of them. The lost United 1448 continues to creep forward.
We're approaching Kilo here.
They hear the sound of a jet engine approaching them, and the sound continues to intensify. The FedEx plane hits V1, the point of no return. They can't stop the plane anymore. They have to take off. As the United pilots look to the right, they see the landing lights of a plane hurtling towards them. The Boeing lifts off, clearing them with just meters to spare.
Somebody just took off.
The FedEx pilots never saw the United plane.
United 1448, you shouldn't be anywhere near Kilo. Hold your position, please. Just stop.
Oh, this is United 1448. We are currently on a runway. I was looking out to the right with a Kilo. We need to go on to the Kilo taxiway.
United 1448, you would put the taxi November in Tango. I need to know what runway you're on. I can't see anything from the tower.
The United pilots still aren't aware of their mistake, and they respond with the incorrect location to the ATC.
Ma'am, we are on 23 right intersection of 16, and we did not connect from November. We are by Kilo to our right, and we just overshot Kilo. We did not see it.
They have informed the ATC that they are here, but in reality, they are here.
FedEx 1662, contact departure today.
1662, what departure? Go on.
And now, what follows is unthinkable. Without realizing that they had just been a narrow miss between two massive jets on the runway, she clears the next plane in line, US Air 29908, for takeoff.
Yes, sir, 2998, runway 5 right, fly runway heading third full takeoff.
A panicked United crew interjects and pleads,
Ma'am, I'm trying to advise you we're on an active runway, United 1448.
but she's having none of it.
Lutiny right is not an active runway. It's a taxiway when we're IFR or in the dark.
When you have a lost pilot who's claiming that they are on an active runway and that they have just seen a plane take off over them, your job as ATC should be to identify where exactly they are and get them to safety. But unfortunately, that is not happening here. She insists that she knows where the planes are and clears US 29908 to take off one more time.
Yes, sir, 2998, runway 5 right, fly runway heading third full takeoff.
But the US Air pilots who had been monitoring the conversations declined.
We're staying clear of all runways until we figure this out.
And this annoys the ATC.
Everybody stand by, please. Radio silence until I talk to you.
Hello.
Everybody stand by.
She now turns her attention to US Air 1020 and she asks them to stop.
US Air 1020, hold your position, please. I don't know exactly where the United is. I'll figure it out in a minute.
On Tango for 1020.
Because based on her clearances, US Air 1020 should have been following United 1448. And she's now trying to ensure that US Air 1020 doesn't collide into the stationary United. United 1448 speaks up again.
Ma'am, this is United 1448. We're on 23 right. We're looking at Kilo straight ahead. If we can go straight, we can get on Kilo and get off the runway.
The United is still continuing to give conflicting information to the ATC. He's claiming that he's at 23 right, but he's also claiming that he can see Kilo right in front of him. There's no way to get to Kilo from 23 right. That should have told him that he's at the wrong place.
United 1448, stand by. Don't talk. I have other things I need to do.
Roger, ma'am.
A frustrated ATC clears the US Air to take off a third time.
US Air 2998, runway 5 right, fly runway heading cleared for takeoff.
The stranded United 1448 has already had 2 close calls for the day. If US Air 29908 accepts the clearance and starts its takeoff roll, there is no guarantee that this won't result in a major crash. As a pilot, you always want a clear mental map of what's going on around you. But the conflicting conversation over the radio has US Air 29908 worried.
Tony, so 2998, till we figure out what's going on down there, we're just going to stay clear of all runways.
But thankfully, and correctly, the US Air pilots declined the clearance. The ATC, though, is still adamant that she's sure that the runway is free of any obstructions.
US Air 2998, roger. Hold short of runway 5 right. It's not anywhere near the runway, but you can hold short.
Okay.
She then talks to another controller.
Tower, US Air 2998 isn't going yet because I have a United who doesn't know where the hell he is. I'll take him back and I'll flash you when he's ready. US Air 1020, are you at your date?
We're stopped as requested on Tango.
US Air 1020, thank you.
And now finally, she starts figuring out where the United plane actually is.
United 1448, understand you're on runway 23 right. Have you gone past taxiway Kilo and Tango 1?
Ma'am, we're on 23 left and 16. And I am facing into Kilo at this point. The nose is just over 23 left.
Are you facing northwest or southeast?
We are heading for United 1448. Right now, we are facing approximately 200 degrees on the heading. I'm looking out the window, and I am seeing a sign that says 23 left to my right, and a sign that says 16 to my left. And I have yellow signs that says Kilo to my right, on to my left. We are on a current runway.
Stop all traffic until sides, please. United has no idea where they are. Thank you. United 1448, just taxi straight ahead. Let me know when you get the next sign, please.
This was the only clearance that should have happened the minute United 1448 indicated that they were lost. You never want to spend a second more than necessary on an active runway.
Okay, we're going to go straight ahead. We're going to go up to Kilo here.
Yeah, at 1448, are you just turning onto runway 23 left right now?
Yes, we are, and we're going to go over. We're on 23 left. We're currently exiting. We are coming up on Kilo now.
Yeah, at 1448, Roger. Turn right at Kilo, and then the slight left turn taxiway Charlie, go toward runway 23 right.
She's instructing them to take a right on taxiway Kilo, this one, to proceed back to the terminal. The crew make one last incorrect turn, and they turn left instead. United 1448 finally crossed the active runway and proceeded down taxiway Kilo to safety.
Is a 150, and we're on Kilo. We are clear of the runway. We're approaching Kilo 1, and we're on Kilo.
US Air 29908 proceeded to take off uneventfully a few minutes later. Following this incident and a subsequent investigation, runway 23 right was closed and it was converted into a taxiway. Airport surface detection equipment, the ground radar, was also installed at the airport. The designs of the taxiway were also changed to not intersect two active runways at the same time.